When Shalom made the pillars for the temple, he set up the pillars before the temple, one on the right hand and the other on the left, and called the name of that on the right hand Yachin, and the name of that on the left Boaz. Of the books called Dabre Hayamim, the words of the days, the second, chapter 4. Moreover, he made an altar of copper, 20 cubits the length thereof, and 20 cubits the breadth thereof, and 10 cubits the height thereof. Also he made the cast metal washpool of 10 cubits from brim to brim, round in compass, and the height thereof was 5 cubits. And a line of 30 cubits compassed it round about. And under it was the likeness of oxen, which did compass it round about, 10 in the cubit, compassing the washpool round about. The oxen were in 2 rows, cast when it was cast. It stood upon 12 oxen, 3 looking toward the north, and 3 looking toward the west, and 3 looking toward the south, and 3 looking toward the east. And the washpool was set upon them above, and all their hinder parts were inward. And it was a handbreadth thick, and the brim thereof was wrought like the brim of a cup, like the flower of a lily. It received and held 3,000 butts. He made also 10 lavers, and put 5 on the right hand, and 5 on the left, to wash in them such things as belonged to the ascending offering they washed in them. But the washpool was for the priests to wash in. And he made the 10 lampstands of gold, according to the ordinance concerning them, and he set them in the temple, 5 on the right hand, and 5 on the left. He made also 10 tables, and placed them in the temple, 5 on the right side, and 5 on the left. And he made 100 basins of gold. Furthermore, he made the court of the priests, and the big courtyard, and the doors for the courtyard, and overlaid the doors of them with copper. And he set the washpool from the right shoulder eastward toward the south. And Huram made the pots, and the shovels, and the basins. So Huram made an end of doing the work that he wrought for King Shalom in the house of the God, 2 pillars, and the bowls, and the 2 capitals which were on the top of the pillars, and the 2 networks to cover the 2 bowls of the capitals that were on the top of the pillars, and the 400 pomegranates for the 2 networks, 2 rows of pomegranates for each network, to cover the 2 bowls of the capitals that were upon the pillars. He made also the bases, and the lavers made he upon the bases, 1 washpool, and the 12 oxen under it. The pots also, and the shovels, and the flesh hooks, and all the vessels thereof, did Huram his father make for King Shalom for the house of Yahweh of bright copper. In the plain of the Jordan did the king cast them, in the clay ground between Succoth and Redath. Thus Shalom made all the vessels in great abundance, for the weight of the copper could not be found out, And Shalom made all the vessels which were in the house of the God, the altar of the gold also, and the tables whereon was the showbread, and the lampstands with their lamps, to burn according to the ordinance before the oracle, of pure gold, and the flowers, and the lamps, and the tongs, of gold, and that perfect gold, and the snuffers, and the basins, and the spoons, and the fire pans, of pure gold. And as for the entry of the house, the inner doors thereof for the holy place of the holy places, and the doors of the house of the temple were of gold. Thus all the work that Shalom wrought for the house of Yahweh was finished, and Shalom brought in the things that David his father had dedicated, even the silver and the gold, and all the vessels, and put them in the treasuries of the house of the God. Then Shalom assembled the elders of Israel, and all the heads of the tribes, the princes of the fathers' houses of the children of Israel, to Jerusalem, to bring up the ark of the covenant of Yahweh out of the city of David, which is Zion.